Hey, shalom, shalom. This is the book of Jeremiah 30 and 5. For thus said Yahweh, we heard all a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. And to that, I like to say, Layam La Alaha Nawa Yahweh Bashim Rashai Bashim Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of great millstone who well shalom. And to the brothers who is pushing his books in truth and its sincerity through the four corners of the earth, and shalom. The Israelites who have been scattered among the hidden nations, and shalom unto the few and faithful Aquatium, and also obeying the husband. This is a brother Kratusar from the Children's Prophetic Vibration Camp out of Trinidad and Tobago. Alright. So this video will be titled, the tremble in fear. And when I say the tremble in fear about all these news, some of these videos all on social media with stocking up food, how to survive, with the tariffs, the farmers talking about how how they had to deal with certain things, also how prices raising, and how certain factories, how the consumers don't have to pay the taxes right away. They pay it like a couple months later because they just cannot up their prices just like that. So a lot of things is happening. A lot of people are trembling in fear in terms of what is going on, how their future is looking. All right. Says read down Jeremiah 30 and 6. Right. It reads, ask ye not and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Right. Obviously we know that a man cannot make a child, right? But it's a metaphor, stating something here, right? So let's read down. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail? And when it goes to that woman in travail, obviously we know when a woman is pregnant and also goes into that stage of labor, you get different stages of pain before before the baby reach a certain meters, right? From the pelvic and stuff like that. So it's just going through that pain, and that pain is what we're going through here now is a travail. Men will be going through travail, in certain pains in terms of put on their finances, put on their pockets, and all these different um, legislations and stuff like that, right? And all faces are turned into paleness, right? That it goes into pale, you see paleness, and that when things getting more hard, right? 7. Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And who shall be saved out of it? The men of the Lord, the ones who believe in the Lord, who follow the Lord's statutes, right? The Lord's statutes and commandments, right? Because that time is coming yet, and with all these things going on, with these wars, look at in Venezuela, based on what taking place, all right, all these things backing up, right, all these new link, right, yadi nubbing, right, and all of that, right. As you can see, prophecies are being fulfilled, right? You have people who is basically trembling right now. They don't know what is going on in the world, right? They're trembling in fear, right? Verse 8, right? For for it shall come to pass in the day, said Yahweh of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. Right? But they shall serve Yahweh thy power, and David their king, whom will I raise up unto them. Alright. So let's go to Amos 5. Amos 5:18. Alright. So, in that day, we gonna get back that power. You understand? So we gonna get back that power. Alright. Amos 5:18. Woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light. Right? People think it's literal, darkness, but that darkness is when the judgment come. Right? That is when the Lord paying them through certain things, and you could see the headline here: warning of coming judgment. Right? They say, what end is it for you? Right? What end? Those of you who don't believe in the truth. All right. It's 19. As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him, so shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness, and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it. Right? So it have Slakia for the yawning, but it have like these people who gonna be migrating back and forth. They're just running from the disaster, and that is it. What going on here. Right? You flee from one place to the next, and it's still disaster. Right? No matter where you go, your judgment will come. No matter where you go. Right? But those who run until they can't run no more, right? Till the judgment come. Right? They continuing to be wicked. Right? To have those who will be preparing to stock their food, and then it have those who will be preparing to be armed up and come and take it from you. Right? So it's not no nice time coming. You're seeing what taking place within the world. People crying out, you're seeing all some of these low level Edomites, them now starting to feel the brunt of it. Right? That they can't even live a comfortable life as before. They're feeling it. Right? Right, this is 2nd Ezra 2:27. It reads, be not weary of when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh. Others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. Right? This here talking about the men of the Lord. The ones that who cry, the ones who who is mourning. right? Right? Because it said, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance, right? But to those with like the heathens and the ones that don't believe, the rest of the with the two thirds, right? And the lower level um Edomite, right? The day will be heavy upon them. There will be plenty weeping will be going on. A lot of them will be taking out themselves as well too, and alive in, right? Um, it's getting let's continue. Verse 28. The heathens shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, said Yahweh. Right, in that day, they won't be able to do none, within that day, because they will envy thee. Because why? Because scripture also talk about wisdom and knowledge will be the stability at thy time, right? Because they will have, you will these heathens, they will see us, as men and they don't looking probably calm, you know, just calm within the chaos that is taking place, right? And Lord also talk about my servant shall eat also, right? So there's a serious thing. Yeah, son, there's a serious thing. The Lord will put away his servants, right? He will hide away his servants, within that time of chaos as well, right? So while these people, when they tremble in fear, but we, have a song mind. Scripture also talk about a song mind, how we will be within a song mind, right? And that goes back into wisdom, right? So I hope that this video was edifying. And to that, I like to say, Kal Halayam La Alahai Namo Yahweh Bashim Rashai Bashim Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Stone. And Shalom unto the brothers that pushing his works in truth and in sincerity. And Shalom unto the sisters who's listening and learning and obeying their husband. Until next time, Shalom.